She texted, "I need $15,000 for an emergency. Don't ask questions." I transferred it immediately, then tracked where it went. When I showed up at the jewelry store where she was buying a watch for another man, her emergency became very real. Original post. I, 33 male, have been with my girlfriend for 3 years. We don't live together, but we've been serious, talking about marriage, kids, the whole thing. She has a key to my place, I have one to hers. We spend most weekends together. I thought I knew her, thought I trusted her. Last Thursday at 2:18 p.m., I got a text that made my stomach drop. "Babe, I need $15,000 right now. Emergency. Please don't ask questions, just transfer it. I'll explain everything later, I promise. Please hurry." My first thought was accident. Hospital. Something with her family. Her dad has heart problems, been on medication for years. Her younger brother is reckless, always getting into situations. A million terrible scenarios ran through my head in about 10 seconds. I didn't hesitate. Opened my banking app, transferred $15,000 from my savings to her account. It was money I've been putting aside for a ring, actually. The irony kills me now. Took maybe 90 seconds total. Sent her a text. Done. "Are you okay? Call me when you can." No response. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. Texted again asking if she was safe, if she needed me to come wherever she was. Nothing. Radio silence. About 20 minutes later, I got a bank notification. Not from my bank, from hers. See, about 8 months ago, she'd added me as an authorized user on one of her accounts for emergencies. We weren't living together yet, but she said it made her feel safer knowing someone she trusted could access things if something happened to her. I'd set up alerts on my phone for any large transactions, just as a precaution. The alert read, "Transaction, $14,875 at luxury jewelry store." I stare at my phone, read it again, and again. A jewelry store, not a hospital, not bail money, not an emergency room or mechanic or any of the 1,000 things an emergency might be. A luxury jewelry store. My brain couldn't process it. There had to be an explanation. Maybe she was pawning something for quick cash, but you don't spend money at a pawn shop, you receive it. Maybe it was a mistake, a duplicate charge, a glitch in the system. I called her again. Voicemail. Texted asking her to please call me immediately. Nothing. Something cold settled in my chest. That feeling when you know something is very wrong, but you're still desperately hoping you're crazy, you're paranoid, you're overthinking. I grabbed my keys and left work without even telling anyone. The jewelry store was about 40 minutes away. High-end place, the kind with a security guard at the door, private viewing rooms, and sales associates who look at you like they're calculating your net worth. I'd driven past it probably 100 times, but never gone in. Not my scene. I parked across the street and sat there for a solid 5 minutes. Part of me wanted to drive away, go home, wait for her explanation, give her the benefit of the doubt. We'd been together 3 years. That has to count for something, right? Then I saw her car in the parking lot. The silver Accord I'd helped her pick out last year. I got out and walked toward the store. Through the large display window, I could see her at the counter, smiling, laughing with the sales associate, looking at something in a display case with the kind of excitement I'd seen when we talked about our future. And standing next to her, arm around her waist like it belonged there, was a guy I'd never seen before. Tall, well-dressed, looking at the same display case with the comfortable body language of someone completely at ease. Someone who belonged there, who belonged with her. My girlfriend, the woman I was literally saving to propose to, was using my money to buy jewelry with another man, while I sat at work thinking she was in some kind of crisis. I pushed open the door. The security guard gave me a once-over, but I must have seemed calm enough because he didn't stop me. I walked straight toward them, my heart pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. The sales associate noticed me first. Her smile flickered with uncertainty. Then my girlfriend turned around. The color drained from her face so fast, I genuinely thought she might collapse. "Hey, babe," I said. Calm, level, completely detached from the volcano erupting inside me. Emergency under control. She couldn't speak. Just stood there with her mouth slightly open, eyes wide, hand frozen on the display case. The guy next to her looked confused. Looked at her, then at me. "Who's this?" On the emergency fund, I said. The $15,000 emergency fund. Nice to meet you. My girlfriend finally found her voice. What are you doing here? Funny, I was going to ask you the same thing. You said emergency. Don't ask questions. I transferred the money without hesitation because I thought something terrible had happened. And now I'm standing in a jewelry store watching you shop with. I looked at the guy. I'm sorry, what's your name? What's your role here? He stiffened. Looked at my girlfriend. Is this your ex? Current, actually, for about 3 more seconds. We've been together 3 years. How about you? His face changed. Something between confusion and dawning horror. My girlfriend grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. Can we talk outside? Please? This isn't what it looks like. It looks like you lied to me about an emergency, took $15,000 of my money, and used it to buy something expensive for another man you've apparently been seeing behind my back. What exactly am I missing? The sales associate had quietly stepped back, suddenly very interested in rearranging something on the far counter. Smart woman. The guy next to my girlfriend pulled his arm away from her waist like she was on fire. Wait, she said that was her savings. She said this was for our 6-month anniversary. She told me you two broke up last spring. Last spring, I repeated, when we went on that vacation together, and I almost proposed. That last spring, he looked at my girlfriend with disgust. You told me you were single. You said this was your money. It's complicated, she started. It's really not. I cut in. She's been with me. She's been with you. And apparently, she thought the best play was to have me fund whatever this is. I gestured at the display case. What were you even buying? The sales associate spoke up, clearly wanting this scene over. A custom timepiece, sir, with engraving. The transaction was nearly complete. Custom engraving. For him. With my money. The money I'd been saving to buy her a ring. The guy was already backing toward the door. Hands up. I don't want any part of this. I thought she was single. I thought that money was hers. This is insane. I'm out. Wait. My girlfriend grabbed his arm. Please, let me explain. He shook her off like she was nothing. Don't contact me again. And he walked out. Didn't even look back. My girlfriend turned on me, tears streaming now. Look what you did. You ruined everything. I ruined everything? I ruined it. You weren't supposed to be here. You were supposed to just send the money and wait. The security guard took a step closer, hand near his radio. The sales associate was definitely calling someone. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. Showed her the screen. I want my money back. All of it. Today. I can't. The timepiece is non-refundable. They already started the engraving. Then you better figure something out. Because if that money isn't back in my account by midnight, I'm filing a police report for fraud. You can't do that. I'm your girlfriend. Not anymore, you're not. And yeah, I absolutely can. You lied to obtain money under false pretenses. You used the word emergency specifically to bypass any questions. That's textbook fraud, and given the amount, it's a felony. She was sobbing now, mascara running, that perfectly composed facade completely shattered. Please, baby, we can work through this. I love you. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Several of them, actually, for at least 6 months, apparently. Midnight. I walked out without looking back. Update 1, 4 days later. She did not return the money by midnight. Color me shocked. What she did do was call me 38 times between 6 p.m. and midnight. Left voicemails that ranged from crying apologies to screaming accusations that I was controlling and financially abusive for tracking her spending. One voicemail was literally just her sobbing. Another was her yelling about how I'd humiliated her in front of the man she actually loves. The audacity was genuinely impressive. At 12:01 a.m., I called the non-emergency police line and explained the situation. The officer who answered was tired but professional. Took down the basics, then said, if you obtained money through a false claim, especially with specific language designed to prevent questions, that's potentially fraud. Come down and file a report. I did. Brought all the texts, screenshotted and printed. The bank records is showing my transfer on the jewelry store purchase. Everything organized, dated, highlighted. The detective who took my statement was a woman in her 50s who'd clearly seen everything twice. She looked at the texts, looked at the purchase record, looked at me, and just sighed. She really texted emergency and don't ask questions right before dropping 15 grand at a jewelry store. For another man, custom engraved. She actually laughed, not at me, at the situation. Some people, all right, we'll open a case. She'll be contacted for her statement. Given the amount, this is felony territory. Theft by deception. Felony. That word hung in the air. Part of me still couldn't believe we were here. The next day, my girlfriend's mother called. I almost didn't answer, but morbid curiosity won. You need to drop this immediately, she said. No greeting. Pure ice. Drop what exactly? The police report. This vendetta. All of it. You're ruining her life over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. She scammed me out of $15,000 to buy an anniversary gift for another man she's been seeing for 6 months. Well, my misunderstanding. She made a mistake. She was confused about her feelings. You can't destroy her future over money. Ma'am, your daughter destroyed our relationship and committed a felony. I didn't do anything except respond appropriately. You're being vindictive and cruel. If you ever really loved her. I did love her. That's why I sent $15,000 without asking a single question. Because I trusted her. That trust is gone now, and it's not coming back. She hung up, but she wasn't done. Over the next 3 days, the pressure campaign intensified. Her brother showed up at my apartment building. Security wouldn't let him pass the lobby, thank God, but he stood there for 20 minutes yelling about how I was a coward hiding behind cops and ruining his sister's life for no reason. 3 neighbors filed complaints. I have a whole thing on the lobby camera footage. Her best friend since high school started texting me paragraphs. Long messages about how my girlfriend was going through something, and I was making everything worse by involving the law. Apparently, I should just accept being defrauded because relationships are about forgiveness and money isn't everything. I screenshotted those too. Then came the letter. Actual paper, hand-delivered to my mailbox. 4 pages in her handwriting. The basic thesis was that she and this other guy had unfinished business from years ago, and when he came back in her life, she panicked. She thought if she could just show him she was serious about their future, he'd finally commit to her. She knew I'd say no if she explained, so she used the word emergency to make me act fast. The letter ended with, I know we can work through this if you just drop the charges and give me time to figure out my feelings. Figure out her feelings. After 6 months of cheating and 15 grand of my money, I scanned the letter and sent it to my lawyer. Yes, I got a lawyer. When someone commits felony theft against you and their family starts harassing you, you get a lawyer. His assessment was immediate. This letter is basically a signed confession. She admits taking the money under false pretenses and explains exactly why she did it. Keep this safe. This is gold. The other guy, by the way, has vanished completely. According to one mutual acquaintance who still talks to both circles, he blocked my girlfriend on everything within hours of the jewelry store confrontation. Told a friend he didn't sign up for this crazy and wants nothing to do with any of it. The detective called yesterday. My girlfriend had given her statement. Claimed I had verbally promised her the money for personal use months ago and that I changed my mind out of jealousy when I saw her with another man. Did you ever verbally promise her $15,000 for personal use? The detective asked me. No, I have never given anyone that kind of money without knowing what it's for. She texted the word emergency. I responded to what I believed was a crisis. That's consistent with the evidence. The DA is reviewing the case. Things are moving. Update 2. 3 weeks later, the DA moved forward with charges. Felony theft by deception. She was arrested at her apartment on a Tuesday morning. Her mother posted bail, about $5,000 bond, within a few hours. But now she has an active felony charge. Mugshot and everything. That follows you forever. The entitlement from her family reached new heights. Her father called me. First time he'd ever initiated contact. I'd only met him maybe 5 times, and he'd always been quiet. Not this time. Do you understand what you're doing to this family? His voice was shaking. Her mother can't sleep. Her brother's missing work. And my daughter has a criminal record because of you. She has a criminal record because she committed a crime, sir. It was relationship money. Couples share finances all the time. We weren't married. We don't share finances. She lied, specifically used the word emergency to get $15,000 out of me, to buy a gift for another man. You're going to destroy her entire future over $15,000. She destroyed our 3-year relationship for $15,000 she stole to impress some other guy. I'm just making sure there are consequences. He called me a few names and hung up. But the really dirty play came 3 days later. I got a call from a different detective. Apparently someone, anonymous, had filed a complaint alleging I had been financially controlling and emotionally abusive throughout our relationship. The claim was that I used money to manipulate and isolate my girlfriend, that I demanded access to her accounts, and that my filing charges was retaliation for her trying to leave the relationship. My blood ran cold. This could get very bad very fast. The detective was professional, but clearly had to investigate. I answered every question honestly. No, I never controlled her finances. No, I never demanded she account for her spending. Yes, I was an authorized user on one of her accounts, which she set up voluntarily. I had the paperwork with her signature. I provided it immediately. After reviewing everything, the detective said something that confirmed what I already knew. The timing of this complaint is notable. Filed 2 days after the felony charges were announced. I noticed that too. We'll investigate fully, but based on the documentation you provided, this appears retaliatory. I'm noting that in the file. After he left, I sat in my apartment for an hour just staring at the wall. She wasn't going to accept consequences. She was going to try to flip the entire narrative, make me the abuser, the controller, the bad guy. But she'd miscalculated. The authorized user paperwork had her signature. The emergency text was time-stamped. The jewelry purchase was documented. Her handwritten letter was a confession. And now her false countercomplaint was on record too. My lawyer's exact words. She's building a pattern of dishonesty that any judge will see clearly. Let her keep digging. 2 days later, her lawyer, she'd hired one, sent me a letter. The proposal: drop all charges, accept $5,000 as full settlement, and sign a mutual NDA preventing either party from discussing the situation. $5,000. She stole 15, and she was offering back 5, with a gag order attached. My lawyer's response was simple. My client will pursue full restitution, legal fees, and any additional damages as determined by the court. This offer is rejected. Update 3. The preliminary hearing was yesterday. It lasted about 2 hours. Courtroom was small. My girlfriend was there with her lawyer and both parents. She was wearing a conservative dress, minimal makeup, hair pulled back, clearly coached to look sympathetic. She didn't look at me once. Her mother, though, that woman stared at me like she was trying to set me on fire with her mind. The evidence presentation was straightforward. My lawyer had organized everything. The original text with the word emergency, my immediate transfer, the jewelry store receipt, her handwritten letter essentially confessing, the retaliatory abuse complaint, which had been officially dismissed as unfounded, and a statement from the other guy confirming he'd been told I was her ex. Her lawyer tried hard, argued the money was a gift that I later regretted. That emergency was subjective and could mean an emotional emergency. That I was a bitter ex using the legal system for revenge. The judge listened patiently. Then he asked one question that ended everything. "Ma'am," he said directly to my girlfriend, "when you texted the word emergency to the plaintiff, what did you intend for him to understand?" Her lawyer tried to object, but the judge waved him off. "Answer the question." She looked trapped. "I needed the money quickly, for something important." "Did you intend for him to believe there was a crisis? A dangerous situation requiring immediate funds?" Long pause. "I knew he would send it faster if he thought it was urgent. So you deliberately chose language designed to create a false impression and bypass his decision-making." Her lawyer jumped in. "Your Honor, my client's intent." She just stated her intent. She knew the word would create urgency. She used it deliberately. He turned back to my girlfriend. "And the other gentleman? The one you were purchasing a gift for? Did the plaintiff know about him?" "No," she whispered. "So you obtained $15,000 through false pretenses, concealed an ongoing affair, and when caught, filed a counter-complaint alleging abuse, which has since been dismissed." Her mother stood up. This is outrageous. He's the one who, ma'am, sit down or you'll be removed. She sat. Barely. The judge's ruling. Sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. Bail conditions updated to include no contact with me whatsoever, direct or through third parties. Any violation means additional charges. Outside the courthouse, her family came unglued. Her brother got in my face immediately. You happy now? You proud of yourself? You destroyed her life over money. She stole from me, lied about it, tried to frame me as an abuser, and has shown exactly zero remorse. So yeah, I'm comfortable with how this went. You make 6 figures. You could have let it go. You're pathetic. Maybe, but I'm also getting my money back. How's her situation looking? He looked like he wanted to take a swing. His father grabbed him and pulled him toward the car. My girlfriend was standing by their vehicle, crying into her mother's shoulder. For 1 second, just one, I felt something. Sadness. Memory of who I thought she was. 3 years of moments that apparently meant nothing to her. Then I remembered. Emergency. Don't ask questions. The flicker died. Trial is in 3 months. My lawyer says it's straightforward given the evidence. She'll likely be offered a plea, reduced charges in exchange for full restitution plus fees. Her lawyer would be an idiot not to take it. The other guy reached out last week. DM apologizing for his role. He genuinely didn't know about me. She told him detailed stories about our breakup that apparently happened months ago. He was as played as I was, just differently. I didn't respond. Not out of anger. Just nothing left to say. Her family has gone quiet since the hearing. The no-contact order is court-mandated, which means violating it means additional charges. They're entitled, but they're not stupid enough to risk that. My apartment feels different now. Changed the locks the week after the jewelry store. Packed up the few things she'd left at my place and dropped them at her parents' house without a word. Clean break. The $15,000 was going to be a ring. I was 3 months away from proposing. Had the whole thing planned. Restaurant she loved, sunset, the works. Now it's evidence in a felony case. Am I over it? No. 3 years doesn't evaporate because someone betrays you. There are moments when I reach for my phone to text her something funny. Then remember, nights when the bed feels too empty. Times when I wonder if I should have just eaten the loss and walked away. Then I remember the letter she wrote. How she wasn't apologizing. She was explaining why what she did made sense to her. How she still expected me to give her time to figure out her feelings. How she filed a false abuse report rather than accept any responsibility. Some people are asking if I regret involving the police, if I should have handled it privately. Here's my answer. She had every opportunity to make this right. Return the money. Acknowledge what she did. Face it with some minimal dignity. Instead, she doubled down. Blamed me. Tried to make me the villain. Offer me a third of what she stole with a gag order attached. Every consequence she's facing, she chose. Every single one. I didn't scheme or plot elaborate revenge. I just followed the evidence, told the truth, and let the system work. She handed me everything I needed, gift-wrapped and custom-engraved. Trial's in 3 months. I'll update after. For now, just moving forward. One day at a time.